in this 2023 NFL Draft to select Bryce Young.
2, 1.
The Carolina Panthers saw the momentum gained after their Week 8 win fizzle on Sunday after a 27-13 loss to the Indianapolis Colts. The Panthers were not able to get into the end zone in the first half. The team started the game with a scoreless first quarter, a factor that is becoming more of a trend with the current offensive unit. It wasn't until the second half that the Panthers were able to get into the end zone. During the only touchdown drive of the game for the Panthers, Bryce Young conducted a well-orchestrated drive, much like the final drive during the Texans matchup in Week 8. The 15-play, 75-yard drive that was capped with a 5-yard touchdown reception by DJ Chark included the power rushing to move the drive along that the team has been trying to ignite for most of the season. And when the drive almost ended, tight end Tommy Tremble reeled in a reception to convert on fourth down and keep the chains moving. Despite the Panthers outweighing the Colts in passing and rushing yards as well as time of possession, it was the penalties that became the biggest hurdle for Carolina. The Panthers had 10 penalties for 81 yards. The Colts defense proved to be much different from the team they've been during their most recent string of losses. The biggest reason for that was the play of Colts cornerback Kenny Moore. Moore intercepted Young for touchdowns twice during the game, a stat that made him the only Colts player to have 2 such plays in a single game. And in a game where Young threw a total of 3 interceptions, was sacked 4 times, and went 24 of 39 for 217 yards in the air and a touchdown, the frustration might have shaken many rookies, but it has yet to rattle Young.
Doesn't change that. Obviously, have to be better. Obviously, things you want back. But it's part of the game. It is what it is. And, that's, so long season, you can't carry any of that over. You gotta take from it, watch the film. We'll go over this stuff, learn from it, correct it, and then after that, it resets. It's one game. Obviously, it's a lot of stuff. Obviously, that I need to do better, but doesn't change who I am. And that's just mentality. We all have.
Panthers head coach Frank Reich talked about seeing some of the best to play in the NFL go through even worse circumstances, and his belief in Young moving forward is still unshaken.
I've seen this happen to the best quarterbacks in the history of the game. I mean, they all have games like this, and sure, it's going to be easy to say, it's easy to put it on the quarterback, and but you bounce back. That's what makes the great ones, and it's a long road. It's a long road to as like I've said this many times, the quarterback journey, developing into the franchise quarterback. It's a long road, and so we believe very strongly in Bryce. Coming into this game, I felt like he was hitting a rhythm and a stride. This is a step backwards for us as an offense. We were thought we had several games in a row where we're making good strides. And then we went out and laid an egg today offensively. So credit the Colts defense, credit Gus Bradley and their players, the way they, how they played us. We got to do a better job. But it was one game.
Now, in the loss, the Panthers also saw an already heavily injury-riddled roster take several more major hits. Panthers outside linebacker Brian Burns suffered a concussion. Cornerback C.J. Henderson also left the game with a concussion. And safety Xavier Woods was sidelined with a thigh injury, and tight end Stephen Sullivan left the game with a shoulder injury and did not return. Reich also highlighted the advantages of this upcoming short week as the team prepares to face the Chicago Bears on Thursday night. With your Carolina Pro Football Report on ADSN1.com and 7:30 The Game, I'm Kevin Tolbert.